and just like, yeah, super, but enjoy the way you play. Yes, so mtazamaji wa Mlimani TV, ndo wageni wetu ndo wamekamilisha kutuchezea ama kutupigia vyombo vyao vya muziki. Msikiliza muziki mzuri, jazi nzuri kweli kweli. Hii inamaanisha muziki ni language au muziki ni lugha ya dunia. Wao wanaamini musica universalis lingua, music is the language of the universe. Na kweli wametuonesha hilo, hawajatumia neno hata moja, lakini kila mmoja amenod kichwa chake, ameutikisa mwili wake na amekubaliana kile ambacho walikuwa wanakifanya. Nami nitakuwa na wakati mzuri wa kuongea nao mawili matatu kuhusiana na kile ambacho wanakifanya, wao ni kina nani, na wewe utakuwa na muda mzuri wa kuwafahamu zaidi. Salia nasi hapo. So, we'll make this little conversation short but sweet, right? And as I told you, I'm Faraj Jaruna, the third-year student at the University of Dar es Salaam School of Journalism and Mass Communication, taking bachelor's degree of journalism. So I'm really enjoying this.
Oh, thank you.
Though I'm not good at music, but I enjoyed it. The way you're making the beats, and I'm like feeling my song in my head. I'm singing what I need, what I love. You didn't limit me, and it was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Who was the US Navy band? Who are you? For the guy who doesn't know you, for the Tanzanian who doesn't know you, who are you?
We're, again, the U.S. Navy band. There's 9 of us in 9 bands in the world.
Yeah.
And we're stationed all over, everywhere, Japan, Hawaii, and the States. But our main mission is to spread the message of freedom and joint security. And that's a big mission that we constantly are pushing, because we're stronger together with our allies. Tanzania is our ally. We're stronger together, and that's the reason why we're here. So
you're here to spread love.
To spread love, yes.
You did it?
Yes, we hope so.
Yes, so that's cool. And for I think you traced back in the 1950s, right? When the two, should I say the companies, the CINC South and the next one in US combined together, and you came up with this US Navy for the African part, right? So you came with the African, should I say, just in your Navy band, right?
Yeah.
And you've made a lot of musics about Africa, a lot of musics about the whole universe. How many African nations are in the US Navy? You have Greek there, you have Italy there, from Naples, like you're from Naples. You have Italy there, you have UK there, US you're there. How many African nations are in that Navy band?
As of right now, there's that Navy band is just Italian nationals and the U.S. Navy, the particular one that we're a part of.
Yeah.
But people join from all walks of life. I've met Kenyans in the Navy before, and people join from. We have one sailor that's here, one of our colleagues in the other band. She's from Cuba.
Yeah.
So the great thing about the U.S. Navy and the U.S. in general is that we are like a melting pot, right? My last name is John Baptiste. My dad's Haitian, right? So bringing that Caribbean flair to what we bring, and we all come from different walks of life, but we share common ground and we learn from each other.
Yeah.
So
in the US Navy, what's your best experience? So this is for each individual. What's your best experience?
My best experience is anytime I get to go to Africa. And we've only been here for maybe 14 hours, but just the warm welcome that we've gotten from the Tanzanian people is just amazing. And it's always warming to come.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my favorite experience.
Favorite. What's your best experience as the US Navy band member?
It's hard to choose a best experience. We've had so many wonderful experiences. This is my 5th time, I believe, in Africa since I've been stationed with this band. Been to Ghana, Gabon, Seychelles, and Mauritius, and now I'm in Tanzania. And I'm just really grateful to be here. Looking forward. I tried some of the food last night, and the people are so friendly and welcoming at the hotel, and everybody we've seen so far. And we're just looking. It's wonderful to be here. We're just happy to be here.
That's cool. How about you, Mr.?
I would say just for the food and also the culture as a whole. This is my 8th time being in Africa. I believe it's also my 8th country that I've visited in Africa as well. And yeah, just the people that they say very warming, having a warm welcome.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot of humbling experiences that I've played, I took a part of in being in Africa. Like one in particular, in Gabon, we played in some orphanages, and that's a very humbling experience, to see the people that's had just the bare essentials just to live, and then with us being there, it unites us musically, and also just building connections, and they just having love that they shared and they spread. It's just absolutely wonderful experience, and it's nothing to replace that. I can't really think of anything to replace that.
I understand that feeling. What's the best food you've eaten?
Definitely. I mean, I've been to Ghana before. I've had the fufu for one time, and it's also with the spicy fish sauce. It's always been my favorite, and also with the jollof rice. You can't get that without jollof rice.
We haven't had the food here yet, so we're that's our plan for today, to get some proper.
You should have something like ugali, something like we call it chips, the fries.
Oh yeah,
the best in Tanzania.
Okay,
yeah, ugali beans, the common one.
Oh yeah.
So, what's your favorite experience in the U.S. Navy?
I think it was 2 years ago. We went to play for a live audience in Kenya.
Yeah.
And we went to this amphitheater. You were there.
Yeah.
And they really got into music in a way that I hadn't seen anyone do that before. There was a point where one young man came up and started doing a dance, and then 4 others did the same dance.
So this was allowed here?
This was in Kenya.
In Kenya, yeah. That was 2 years
The previous performance we were
Yeah,
doing here.
2 years ago.
We
Yes.
I'm talking about this.
Oh,
the recently we
Tanzania.
are doing here right now.
We just got here.
We are allowed to dance here when you're playing.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
Please, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Anytime.
Yeah, I think I would have performed something like
Oh no.
We can start over.
Yeah.
that. So, you've been in Gabon, you've been in Kenya and some other African nations. What brings you in Tanzania this time?
Again, we're in conjunction with Cutlass Express, which is a maritime mission that's happening with 20 countries. Just working on connections and maritime security. So Tanzania, U.S. are also a part of this. And our job, while they're building connections out in sea, we're building connections with the community. So that's why we're here.
Na anazungumzia kwa nini wamekuja hapa, ni wamekuja kwa ushirikiano na Tanzania ambao wao ndo wenyeji wa kwao hapa, lakini wao ndo waandaaji wakuu wa tukio lao la Cutlass Express, ambapo wamekuja kutoa mafunzo kwa mataifa mengine 15 Afrika ambao yamepakana na Indian Ocean. Wanazungumzia Kenya, na wazungumzia Comoros na mataifa mengine, na mafunzo hao yako chini ya TPDF, na wao wamekuwa wakihusiana nao ama wakikutana nao mara kwa mara kwa ukaribu zaidi, kwa zaidi ya wiki moja kuelekea wiki 2, kutoa mafunzo hayo kwa majeshi ya baharini ama majeshi ya majini. Lakini bado tupo nao, tutazidi kufahamu mengi kutoka kwao. We have heard about your best experience, you have the worst experience in the US Navy band.
Honestly, like, regardless of, I'm an optimist, so I can be in any situation and like, let's make this better. I can work with this. So I really don't have bad experience. You can ask them. I'm like pretty level-headed. Oh, this is Baptist. Yeah. There was a time where in Kenya where I lost my luggage, right? And I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just buy local clothes, and now I have all this Kenyan clothes that I cherish. So it was great. I don't look at bad moments as bad moments. I look at how to make it. I can work with this, how to make it better.
I feel sorry for you. So here in Tanzania, you don't need to lose your clothes, then you have all clothes. You love them anytime you
I'm still going to buy Tanzania.
What's your worst experience?
Similar to Jonathan here, one time we went to a country and we lost some of our instruments.
Was it Kenya?
No, it was not Kenya. It was not Kenya. But we had to borrow some instruments from a local school, but we made it work, and it ended up being just as good as if we hadn't lost them. But not really a bad experience, but like he said,
it's like challenge.
It's a challenge, and then you have to just be positive, and the people always are welcoming and happy to hear us play.
So what's your bad experience?
It's very tough to think of a worst experience, but the one I can think of is in Ghana, trying to get out of Ghana, going to Senegal. We were trying to get our boarding passes, but we had a lot of excess baggage. And one of my excess baggage was, well, actually it wouldn't be excess baggage, I would use that to carry on. It would be my djembe. But I bought a djembe in Ghana, and I had to submit it to customs because the drum head is not of a plastic head, it's a actual animal skin. Later on down the line, I found out I didn't have to like declare it in Senegal or anywhere other than that. So it was such a painful experience because there's a long line to get to the ticket counter to pay for it, and we had to pay it in cash. So it took a long time, and I almost didn't get a boarding pass, and I almost didn't get to fly out to Senegal for the next mission. So it was really, really painful and really stressful.
But again, like with these situations, it's nothing bad, right? Because we can look at situations and we can be downtrodden by it, or we can take the situation and turn it positive. So even when I tell these guys when we're traveling, I'm like, always think positive. Positive. It's always going to work out. Yeah. And it always does. So.
Yeah. And I was like, I was very new, like going to airports, especially going to foreign airports. So I gained a lot of experience and a lot of, I guess, we call them sea legs. I call them air legs. So
That's good. You've get a lot, but
yeah.
So, what's your worst experience?
Oh, I'm very quick to forget bad experiences.
Try to remember any.
I think most of the bad experiences are things we give ourselves.
Yeah.
Like with everything Jonathan said, he has that attitude, which is perfect. I'm trying to learn that from him. But I will sometimes slip into the opposite, where, oh no, my guitar didn't make it over to the gig.
Yeah.
This is the worst day ever. Like it's experiences we give ourselves. If we go into the pessimistic mindset. So I think a lot it's what you make of the experience.
Yeah. And they give you more experience day to day.
Yeah, and the good thing about a bad experience is if you can learn from it, if you can grow from it, hopefully that'll never happen again.
Yeah.
But you have your bottom. You know where the worst point is, and you can build from that.
So you're giving me something up. I want to talk about experience.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be forgetting them.
Yes.
Yeah. The moment they happen and then I forget them, then I move
Try to
on.
learn, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So, in the US Navy, you've ever performed this one Swahili song, right? I don't know if it was your generation or not. Back 9 years, 2015, you performed Baba Yetu among the performances that I really love, that even made me subscribe your YouTube channel, the US Navy. So that was amazing. How was that experience performing the Swahili language song? How do you experience performing any other language song apart from English? Maybe you're in the French-speaking languages or French-speaking countries and you need to perform that song in French, or you're in other nations that don't speak English, they have their own language and you need to perform such songs. How do you feel? How was that experience?
So, we, in our job, we change a lot. We rotate all the time. So like most of us are here for 3 years. Unfortunately, none of the people who were here 9 years ago are currently here now because they've changed their location. Unfortunately, I'll be leaving here in less than a year now. I wish I could stay longer and go to, but to answer your question, it's such a joy to play a local song that the people know when we're at a concert, and we try to, in every place that we go, to learn a song, to be able to perform it, and it's just such a joy to see the looks on people's faces when they hear that, when we're playing our American songs, and and then it's suddenly we start playing a song that everybody knows, and people just erupt in happiness, and they start dancing and singing along. And then, like, we don't even have to sing it anymore because we can just, like, the audience is singing it. So that's just a really joyful experience to learn songs of other cultures. And that's, for me, that's my favorite part of this job, is when we can connect with our audience on that level.
I feel the audience are happy because of you, right? Yeah. And that's superb. So you guys, do you only play guitar? Do you only play the trumpet? Do you only play the drums? Do you only play the guitar? Or anybody can play any instrument?
There's for me, I play the upright bass as well, the stand-up bass.
Okay.
And two completely different instruments. But that, do you play any other instruments?
Or play bass drum and cymbals?
Oh yeah, so that's a requirement for us as well. Like for rhythm section, we also for ceremonies we play bass drum and cymbals, like crash cymbals. So yeah, we're also percussionists as well.
You play any other modern drums?
So in the realm of percussion, there are so many instruments. Not just drum set, but also snare drum, bass drum and cymbals, that they said.
Yeah.
And there's also mallet percussion, case in point, marimba. So marimba, also xylophone, and lots of other percussion instruments like the cowbell, for instance. And it's just, it's a very, very vast universe as far as percussion goes.
You only play that trumpet, and I've enjoyed how you're playing it.
This is a tenor saxophone.
Yeah, saxophone,
and,
yeah.
and within the saxophone family, there are bigger and smaller saxophones. And I play, if you can play one, pretty much you can play the rest of them. So I play all the saxophone family, and I also play clarinet and flute, and I also play a little bit of piano because my mother is a pianist and organist. So she taught me when I was a kid to play some piano. I'm not that good at it, and I also sang a lot in choir and things growing up. So
I feel like you put a lot of effort preparing for this. You should be well prepared for this. Like 15 minutes, only playing it. It's superb. You should have a lot of energy, right?
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
Wanatuelezea namna gani ambavyo wanachezea vifaa vyao, wanatuelezea namna gani ambavyo wanatumia vifaa vyao, lakini zaidi wametuelezea ni kwa nini wapo hapa, na mimi naenda kumalizana nao, japo sitamani hata nimalizane nao, natamani niendelee kuwa na muda nao kwa yale ambao wameweza kuyaonesha hapa, na tutakwenda kusikiliza kwa mara ya mwisho hapa.
You guys want to play for the Navy?
Yeah, like there's a lot of us that have had
Yeah.
careers outside of the Navy. Like I was a professional musician outside of the Navy, and before I joined, and but yeah,
You
all
have
of
your
us.
songs? You have maybe your albums?
I don't have an album. I was more of a side person, like, but yeah, it was like I take those experiences and add them to the Navy. So yeah.
You've also been a musician separately before?
yes, yeah. I mean, I started playing as a kid, as a child. My mother taught me piano lessons, and I used to sing in church, play in church, and then I also, for a while in college, I had my own band, so I had my own jazz ensemble. I had a business card, and I would try to get performances around weddings and bars and whatever opportunities I could.
So you guys have been in many African nations, many African countries. This is your third, this is his fifth, right?
Yes.
Fourth? Your fourth?
There's all
Senegal, Kenya.
all the countries. Oh yeah, this is eight.
Eight. Yes.
I forgot, I said that earlier. So yeah.
Yes, a lot of countries. From all those countries, what have you observed, like, in African Navy bands, they should put it or they should impose it for them to be the best as you are?
I think what I've observed is that we're more alike than different. And one of the things that we love to do is playing with other military bands or local musicians. We did it in Djibouti, and we did the cultural exchange, and they showed us how they play their music, and we learned, and then we showed them a song, and that's kind of, I learned so much as a musician and as a human being from those experiences. And because music can go where words can't, right? You can't communicate, music is that common Oh no, I mean in the other group, our colleagues, there's 2 women in it. Yeah, I mean
What's that? How many women in our band? We have about, I think we have 8, maybe 7 or 8, but we're 45 people, so it's not half and half, but there are women and actually our boss is a woman, and so both of our top two leaders.
What makes one to be an avid band member?
So we had to audition before we even. So we're still a part of the Navy. We went through boot camp and everything. But before we even sign up for boot camp, we do an audition, and they have to have spots filled. I think like for bass players, there's 18 of us. So, or there should be 18 of us. And choose the bass players per 9 bands. And
Similar to
basically, like, we do the audition first. They have audition material, and then we apply. They like us. You got the job. Then you go to boot camp. So, but your job when you come out is a Navy musician.
Okay, so it's not necessary for one to be a soldier and be an avid band.
No, you audition first, then you go to boot camp, pass boot camp, then you become a musician.
That's cool. That's like went there? So long back.
Very tough.
12 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years ago. All the 3 years?
4 years.
4 years.
I've been in the Navy for 6
We were trying to get our boarding pass, but we had a lot of excess. I'm also 4. And one of
4
my
years. You guys know each other?
We actually went to, they have this musician school after the Navy that you go to just hone your crafts. And we call it A school. We're in A school together.
So you know each other, you know, like when it beats up like this.
Later on down the line, I found out I didn't have to, like,
so that's when I talk about common ground, right? He's from Illinois, and I'm from Florida. So other than that, we didn't have anything in common. But I grew up playing in the black church, playing gospel music, and so did he. So a lot of the things are kind of like natural for us, right? So I can do something and he'll catch it, and vice versa, which is really cool that we're able to play together.
So wanatuelezea namna gani ambapo wao walianza safari yao. Wapo watu ambao wapo kwenye UDSM band kwa miaka 16, wapo ambao wapo kwa miaka 12, wengine miaka 4, na hao wote wanafanya kazi kubwa ya kuhakikisha muziki unabaki kuwa ni njia sahihi ya kueneza upendo. Muziki unabaki kuwa ni njia sahihi ya kuhakikisha kila mmoja ana furaha popote pale ambapo UDSM band itakwenda kupita. Have you mastered any Swahili song that you can play here?
Not at the moment. We are playing a traditional song. If you come to our Slipway concert this Friday, we're doing a joint concert with the other band that's here. So that's a surprise. But if you come, it's a free concert.
So it's there, but it's a surprise. That song.
Yeah.
What's that song that you can play for us? I want to dance.
Okay. Yeah.
Feel like dancing. What's this song?
Let's do Mercy, Mercy, Mercy.
Mercy, Mercy.
So it's
is it from French?
It's by Joe Zawinul, a famous jazz player, but it's more of a funk song.
So I'm not playing any instrument. I'm just moving my body.
Oh yeah. I was just thinking about that, so let me get you,
yes.
How do I hold it?
So, are you left-handed or right-handed?
Left-handed.
Okay. So,
left-handed?
Yeah.
I'm left-handed too. So.
Yeah, and then you can turn the stick around. Yeah, and then you just hit around this area. Yeah, just like that.
How was that experience? Experience performing any other.
hired.
So it's like hired here.
Oh, yeah.
That's a swap. If this would be audition.
Oh yeah, that's the audition. You're in.
I have been my US Navy member. Yes. So that's cool. So thanks for having us and thanks for having me. Yes, na hivyo ndo tunavyofunga mahojiano yetu mafupi na US Navy Band ambao wao wamekuja hapa kwa ajili ya uhusiano wao wa kimafunzo chini ya TPDF wakishirikiana nao hao lakini na mataifa mengine 15 Afrika ambayo yamepakana na Indian Ocean. Sisi hatuna ziada, endelea kutufuatilia Mlimani TV.